Either it's the common magician, and if I was going to try something like Ladani's Acan with a lay spectator, regular audience, non-magicians, I would do it like this. I knew this card cheat one time that did something amazing with a deck of cards, just like this one. He took the cards, he spread them out on the table, and gave them what we call a Vegas wash, where he just bunched the cards together so nobody could know the location of any particular cards in the deck. He then proceeded with what we call casino shuffling procedure, where he gave the cards a riffle, another riffle, then some strip cuts, followed by another riffle, and then a cut. These cards were mixed. Nobody knew where any particular card was at. And then he asked me to name any card that came to mind. So I said the 3 of hearts. Then he said, name any number 1 to 52. And I thought for a second, and I thought 17. So he took the cards, and then he proceeded to deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have no idea how he did it. Alternatively, if I was going to do this for magicians on video, right, I would do it like this, which is a little different than the way I did it the last time. This is slightly different. I knew this card cheat one time that did something amazing with a deck of cards, just like this one. He took the cards and he gave them a casino wash on the table. He mixed the cards up so that nobody could know the position of any one of the cards inside of the deck. He then followed with what we call a casino shuffling procedure. That is where you give the cards a riffle, taking the top off and burying the top card and the bottom card. Then he gave it another riffle. And then he followed that up with some strip cuts. And then, of course, one more riffle. And then he finished off with a cut. He said, name a card. I said, Ace of Hearts. He said, name a number 1 to 52. I said 30. And then he began to deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I have no idea how he found my Ace of Hearts at the 30th position. So this is a short discussion on what to do, when to do it, and why. Okay, what does one trick mean versus another trick? Same trick, but the presentation's obviously different. So, and why would you do it different, right? So in the first one, it's obvious what's going on there, and I don't think I need to go through all of it. I'm using some kind of standard card controls, some zero shuffles and false table wash, right? Things you probably know. I'm using a key card to kind of keep track of that, a breather to deal with it. So those are the kind of the typical way to handle this sort of a situation where you're just kind of doing blind shuffles to retain the deck in its position. I think I displaced one card, but I know that mathematically, so I know that the particular card of interest is going to be where it's at the end. Okay, so just it's kind of worked out in its basic blind, false shuffles and cuts. To a magician, you look at that and people would look at my zero shuffle and say it looks like garbage, right? But the truth of the matter is that to a lay spectator, any zero shuffle looks good. And there's no such thing as a zero shuffle that looks true. There just isn't. There's a tell always. It doesn't matter who's doing it. You know, you can name a name and some new way of doing that particular or any other kind of false shuffle. And it's merely knowing about it means you're going to see it. And this is what really frustrates magicians, right? Is that if we could make our false shuffles look perfect, then people wouldn't be surprised by this other presentation, right? You would know how it's done. It's just a really clean false shuffle. But when you look at the Ladany thing and then my version of it, I don't know how he did it. I just know a way that I'm treating it. When you look at that, you just think, my goodness, everything is good. Everything is genuine. So how is this working, right? Is he doing it, you know, a million times until he gets it right? I'm not, right? I've got a method that I've worked out. But why wouldn't you do it like that all the time? So here's the thing. When you're trying to catch magicians, when you're trying to give magicians that feeling of surprise, of wonder, you're going to have to take some risk and do some extraordinary things. Okay. So I did it a little bit different this time than what I did in the last few. I had a better method, I think, on the last one, but this one I thought I would do kind of a more impromptu sort of thing. I'm not going to explain how I did it. Okay. But if you want to try to figure something out that is geared towards magicians, you need to think differently about it. Don't think in the magician way. The magician way is to look at what happened and try to sort out the traditional ways of doing it and how the traditional ways are being applied so covertly. Throw the traditional things out the window. You need to think about, and this is if you're trying to develop something that's going to fool magicians, you got to go outside the box and you got to think about things that are kind of outlandish, you know, take some risk. You may have to come up with a method that isn't 100%, but it's good enough that it's worth taking a risk on to see how it works out, right? And that kind of gets you a little bit closer to where I was at. And I know, like I said, I don't know what, you know, Jason Ladany does in his version. I have some ideas, but I can't tell, honestly, what's going on when he's doing it. Everything looks perfectly clean to me, and I just figured it's got to be something simple and something probably difficult that he can do. So I thought about that. I came up with a method. I practiced my method for a long time, you know, for about an hour straight. And then I gave it a good college try, and it worked out. So there it is. Okay. So some unorthodox sorts of methodology in order to make magicians happy. Okay. So yeah, if I did this trick, which as a trick for lay spectators, I'm not sure it's a good trick, but if I did this for lay spectators, I wouldn't bat an eye at it. I would do it the way I know how to do it and the way you know how to do it. I would throw my false shuffles out there, my false cuts, and I would give them a show. So anyway, that being said, analyze my video all you want and see if you can figure something out, and that's fun. I mean, that's what we're here for. So good luck with this, and happy magicking.